This is Mastering Mathematics with your teacher, Karen Weston.
Hello Antigua, Barbuda and the rest of the world. Welcome again to another in the series, Mastering Mathematics. And today, this is a series sponsored by the Ministry of Education using its EBU unit, Center for Mathematics Education, and ABS Television. Yes, we want to make certain that you have mathematics as a doorstep experience. We also want to make certain that the students in the school understand and appreciate what we're trying to do. Because you know what the story is? Antiguans. And once you live in Antigua, don't care where you come from, you're an Antiguan, all right? Even if it's one day you're in here, tell them Miss Weston told you that, all right? And you know what they're saying? Antiguans can't do mathematics. Is that true?
No.
Right. Good. And we have students from the
TN KIRNON school.
Right. And at that school, they have as their motto, what is it?
Dedication to achieve.
All right. And what are we going to do with our education?
Work hard.
That's how we are going to get the education. Once we have gotten it, what are we going to do with it?
Use it wisely.
Use it wisely. And using it wisely would take us where?
Far.
It'll take us far in the future. All right? So, welcome again to ABS Studio. And yes, look at them. All right? Especially a set of people whom is always declared, oh, those boys, they're not good at all. Well, guys, tell them your name. This is the first one. What is your name, son?
My name is Jaden Greenway.
All right. And son, what is your name?
My name is Emmanuel Gideon.
Okay. And son, what is your
My
name?
name is Dennis and Bethelmy.
All right. And son, what is your name?
My name is Daniel.
And son, what is your name?
My name is Darren Stevens.
Look at these 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strapping, well taken care of young men. And all we are asked to do now is to prepare them for the future. You know, I had a lot of things in my room that if somebody came up here, only Miss Weston can sit in a room like that, because you would call it a junk room. And take it from me, the teacher is here, she can back me with my statement. 10 minutes, these tiny little hands, let me see the hands, put the hands here, these tiny little hands had that room clean already. How do you say that these guys can't perform? And guess what? The ladies are not to be left out. So they are here today because they're saying we have sharp minds and sharp brains too. Is that true?
Yes.
And we are going to show that the concept that we teach in class, that we can learn them. Is that right?
Yes.
Are we afraid of mathematics?
No.
Right. So you're going to tell them, what is your name, baby?
My name is Craig Lisha White.
All right. And your name is?
My name is Shanae Lewis.
Okay. And your name is?
My name is Kavya Shantanu.
Okay. And again we have?
Cherise Thomas.
All right. And we have?
Stephanie Matthias.
Right. And they are here today to let you understand that guess what? They have been at home and some of them have been watching this Mastering in Mathematics and they are challenging their mummies and their daddies. And I know we have favorites among us who think that mathematics is the best thing in the world. Today, we are going to continue where we left off, just as we remember our fallen brother Sean, and he's going to say, yes, Miss Weston, keep going, man, just keep going. You don't worry, damn thing, so-and-so. I'll be all right, and everything will be okay, and God will take care of my family. That is Sean. All right, so we pick up the challenge, and even more than that, we are fortified, and we are ready to go. Friends, today, I have brought you into the studio because I want you to show to Antigua and Barbuda that when I teach a concept that you can learn it and can quickly give me an answer to a problem. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, so again, And Miss Willock, thank you very much. As usual, everything with me, short notice, because when the ideas come, and that is what we call creativity, standing on our feet right away. Yes, don't stay in the studio, bring the children out, let them see. Our students, they have a thirst for knowledge, and today we are going to be learning fractions, because I understood from your teachers that you are doing fractions right now in school. I'm leaving the practical part of it to Miss Willock because of studio time, and I am going to give you first of all a little one to see, and then we're going to build up into something. And it is no shame, nobody will be put in any position to say, lads, she couldn't even answer. No, that is not what we're about. We are about sharing knowledge. What did we say?
Sharing knowledge.
And when we are learning, it is never supposed to be anything to make anybody feel ashamed. Is that right? Yes. Okay. And we are going to make you, because right now, you know what we're setting you up to be? Teachers in your class. So you're going to be telling Miss Willock, I'm going to be responsible for these 3 students. I'm responsible for these 3 students. Understand? Yes. Right. So it's starting from here. You're going to be teachers in your class. If I gave you, now last time, so far, all that I did were fractions. So I am taking you, I'm walking you through to where I am right now. And I'm going to ask you for a little addition. If I gave you a half and it's plus 3/5, let us give you 2 minutes. Give me that answer. Write it on your paper as quickly as possible. And let us see. See these children go to town, man. All right? Yeah, see these children go to town. Okay? Watch the little brains thinking. So I'll keep quiet while they think. I can keep talking here. Yes, you see, in our schools, we teach them when they're doing that little problem, they have to think, because learning takes place in 3 stages. They've got to understand it, comprehend it, make it a part of them, and then translate it into mathematical symbol. And that is where the process has to take place. We can teach them, but we can only understand if the process has been learned by what they give us. And today, that is what we're testing. Yes, we would have done addition, but again, we have to revisit some of the concepts, and so to make certain that what we are putting out there, that it has been learned. Let us see what they did. Nobody's supposed to feel ashamed, okay? Because it's a teaching exercise. So we are here to take you through. So what you are going to remember, if you didn't get it the first time, we are here to teach you and to show you what the process was. Understand? So it is not a testing affair. But first of all, we just want to see if you could have done it. So we'd call this like a needs analysis to say, all right, where are our students and where do we have to take them? Okay? So the first one, before we give you a little break and you can breathe off, what is our first step? What do we have to do?
Find the LCM.
Okay, find the LCM. All right? And how do we find our LCM? Go ahead, answer me. Go ahead. How do we find the LCM? Yes?
You have to look through the fractions and find the lowest.
All right. So the first thing that we're saying is, right, which numbers would we be using to find the LCM?
5.
Okay, so again, because you remember you're going to be my teachers, you know. So you have to go out and tell the students. So the first step in finding the LCM, we use the numbers in the denominators. Is that true? Yes. Remember the language, because you're going to be my teachers. Okay, so it is 2 and 5. And my friend Insa, remember your last name. First name is not with me right now. What did you say we have to do?
You have to find the lowest.
Right. So we tell them they go back to their tables and we're starting with the lowest multiple, and that would be 2. Okay. What are we aiming to achieve? And to see that we're ending off with a line that ends in just ones. Is that true?
Yes.
Right. So I can say 2 into 2 goes? 1. Yes. Do not be afraid to talk, because that's what you're doing now, learning. Can I use 2 into 5?
No.
What? So what do I do with the 5?
We bring it down.
We bring it down. Why are we bringing it down?
Because the 2 cannot go into it.
All right. It can go into it, but without?
A remainder.
Right. What type of number is 5?
Odd.
It's an odd number. Right. What kind of number is 2?
An even number.
Okay. How do we define, or what do we say is an odd number? Yes?
An odd number is a number that ends with 1, 3, 5, 7.
That is right. And what else can we say? What's another definition we can give for it? Yes, darling?
They leave a remainder.
It leaves a remainder. Every time we divide by 2. Every time we divide by 2. Right, people. Okay. So what's the next number I'm going to use?
3.
Would I use 3 here?
No.
Okay. Why wouldn't I use 3 here?
Because of that number.
No.
3 can't go into 5.
3 can't go into 5 because our own business right here now is just the number 5. Isn't that true? So we don't waste time. So we not. What about 4? Are we going to use 4?
No.
Okay. So what are we going to use?
5.
So we get straight to 5, and we're saying bring down our 1. 5 into 5 goes
1.
And this is the end of the process for our LCM. That was easy, isn't it?
Yes.
So you have the first step for teaching. Remember, you're my teachers, right? Coming to look for your TN KIRNON, you know. All right? So what are you going to tell the students that we have to do? The first step in finding the LCM is to use the denominators. You have to use the vocabulary for mathematics, okay? Don't say the number, because this is the number too, and it's the numerator. So which number are we using?
The
Denominators. All right, good. So how am I going to get the LCM now? Yes?
Multiply 2 times 5.
We will be multiplying 2 times 5. Is she correct?
Yes.
Okay, and what's the answer?
10.
So the LCM is
10.
Now, if somebody had to go and ask you in relation to 10, what would we call 2 and 5? They're prime numbers. Very good. Right, so they are the prime factors of 10. Okay, so just repeat the question again, because somebody said it and the answer came out so softly. What would we say 2 and 5 are in relation to 10?
Prime numbers.
Right, so if they ask you for the prime factors of 10, what is the answer?
10. 2 times
Sorry, 2
5.
times 5.
Don't be sorry, you're supposed to make mistakes, all right? And then that is how growth takes place, you understand? So don't ever apologize, all right? Because we must say, no, think again, listen to the question again. 10. What would we say what would we say about the numbers 2 and 5? What are they in relationship to 10?
Prime numbers.
They're the prime factors of 10. All right. So we get into 10. Talk to me. What am I going to say?
How many times 10 can go into 2?
2 can go into?
10.
And what's the answer?
5.
And what do we do with the 5?
Add it to 1.
We add, we multiply it by 1. So 1 times 5 would give me?
5.
Okay. And then we put plus, and we have 5 into 10 goes?
2 times.
And 2 times?
3. 6.
Okay, 6. And what do we do afterwards?
Add.
Okay, and what are we adding?
5 and 6.
Okay, and 5 and 6 would give me what?
11.
And it's 11?
Over 10.
Over 10. Can we do anything with this number?
Yes.
What can we do?
Break it down.
How do we break it down? Into a
Mixed number.
So what factor is this? Fraction is this? What name do we call it?
An improper fraction.
Ah, boy, TN KIRNON must be smiling in his grave. Yes. And you just told me, break it down into?
A mixed number.
What is a mixed number?
A
Yeah.
mixed number is a number that has a whole number and a fraction.
Ah, so watch my little people, because I said in the classroom, you're supposed to be singing songs. And what are you going to say? Whole number and a?
Fraction.
Whole number and a?
Fraction.
Okay, I was a proper fraction. Whole number and a?
Fraction.
All right. And your classroom is lively?
Yes, ma'am.
Because I know she can make music too, because she's a carnival specialist. All right. So what is the answer here?
1 over 10.
1 and 1 over 10. Excellent. Oh, if they had paid me enough money, I would have been giving everybody here an ice cream, so that you would have been going down to the Australian ice cream, but that will come later, all right? So we're going to take a little break now, make you relax a bit, and we're going to look, and because the next problem I'm going to give you when we come back from the break is a subtraction 1 to see. Okay? So you may be doing 3 of them today, because then we'll be looking at a mixed number fraction 2, and you're going to tell me how you do it. Okay? So we're going to take a break, and then we'll be right back, because your parents are sitting at home and they're smiling and saying, did you see my daughter on the TV? Look on Saturday morning, you may see her. You saw my son? You hear him answering up? All right, we'll be right back.
Be sure that you're working in the same units of measure when performing calculations. If a problem involves inches, feet, and yards, be sure to make the appropriate conversions so all of your values are in the same unit of measure. For example, change all values to feet. When asked to show work or justify your answer, don't be lazy. Write down everything about the problem, including the work you did on your calculator. Include diagrams, calculations, equations, and explanations written in complete sentences. Now is the time to show off what you really can do with this problem.
Don't look on what I cannot do. Focus on what I can do. I may not say what I do, but I can hear and feel it as strongly.
I may not hear, but that does not and should not affect my ability to learn and to function in the real world.
I am a gifted student. I need the opportunity to soar. Support me in my climb to higher levels of learning.
Some of our children have special educational needs. They have a right to an education. So let us teach them the way that they learn and help them to achieve their full potential.
Right, so everybody went, got a nice drink, called the neighbors, because your daughter and your son, they're on the telly. So everybody's now in position, sitting. And guess what? So we taught addition. We're not going to give them the mixed numbers today because this is the first time they're coming. So we're going to go straight into a subtraction sum and see what my little people here in this studio do with it. Not little people, because they are my future teachers. Isn't that true? Yes. Okay, so we're giving you a challenge. Now, suppose I gave you this fraction, And it is 7 over 10, and it is minus 1 upon 2. Yes. She has a pencil. Come. Oh, yeah, no, come. Yeah. Everybody has something, because just make certain you're involved. And yes, once again, if we can get these little children getting into and out of the classroom and showing them that learning can take place in any and every environment, then it will make a difference. These children are having fun, and they don't even realize the time is going, and everybody wants to be here. So they have already booked their position for a return visit. And then you tell me that students can't learn mathematics in the classroom. And guess what? We're not even looking at the practical aspect of it. What is going to happen when I ask them to go home and bring something from mommy's cabinet or something from mommy's safe to come to the mathematics classroom? This is what you call having fun in terms of learning. And hush, on me. The teacher is anxious because she doesn't know how much her students know, and she thinks that they can't cope with something like this. But they don't understand. Don't put them teachers in the classroom sitting as if they're some robots. They are not. They have a mind of their own, and they do think. We have to just guide them, and that is what is happening. Are we ready? Hey, I didn't hear no good answer. Are we ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. What's the first step?
Find the LCM.
Oh, and what are we going to use to find that LCM?
10 and 2.
What do we call 10 and? The denominators. Right, the denominators, and they are 10 and 2. What number are we going to use?
2.
So we're going to use the 2. What type of numbers are those? 10 and 2.
Even numbers.
Why do we call them even numbers?
Because they can go into number without leaving a remainder.
Which number can go into them without leaving a remainder? 2. Don't forget to say that. It's not that they can just go into a number without leaving a remainder, because if I say 7 into 10, I'm going to get a remainder. But it's the number. Which number is important that we have to say? 2. All right. When 2 is divided into these numbers, we don't get a remainder. Very good. So come, work with me. 2 into 10?
5.
Okay. And 2 into 2?
1.
Okay. So what am I going to use again?
5.
Man, this 5 likes to come up. Isn't that true?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So what are we going to get? That the LCM is what?
2 times 5.
2 times 5. And what is the answer?
10.
All right. The LCM is 10. Okay. And what did we say these numbers were in relation to 10?
The prime.
Oh, but say it as if you know it, man. What are they?
Prime factors.
They are the prime factors of 10. All right. So then the 10 here is the LCM. Talk to me. What am I going to say?
10 to 10 goes once.
Okay, so we are going to divide the denominator into the LCM. Remember, you're my teachers, all right? You have to use the words and the terms so that your student knows them, all right? Okay, so 10 into 10 goes 1. And 1
times 7 is 7.
Okay, so we multiply our answer by the numerator. 2 into 10?
5.
And
1 is 5.
Okay, then what do we do?
Subtract.
Yeah, what does subtract means?
Take away.
What does take away means?
Subtract. Take away a number from another number.
Okay, so we're going to lessen it. Isn't that true? Right, so we're going to make it smaller. Isn't that true? Very good. All those answers were correct. Every last thing that you said. All right? But I just want people to understand there is more than one way to say the same thing and has the same meaning. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. So you don't have to write back the exact word the teacher gave you. You use your brain. All right? And if teacher don't give you the mark, you tell me, because I'm coming for them. All right? Okay. So what am I going to say?
7 plus 5.
And what's the answer? 2. So it's 2
over 10.
Okay. What type of fraction do I have here?
Proper.
Why is it called a proper fraction?
Because the numerator is smaller than the denominator.
Well done. What else can I do with this fraction?
Break it down. You can divide it.
Yes, what am I? Oh, I hear the math. Shake my hand, little one. Oh my gosh. We said, look, we're not using breakdown in this maths class, you know. What are we using? Divide. Right, so we can divide it. Isn't that true?
Yes.
How is this division going to take place?
2 over 2.
2 over 2. And what else? Okay, so what is the rule here? You will tell the students.
You divide 2 by
somebody's saying it. Say it again properly.
You divide the numerator by 2 and the denominator by 2.
So then the general rule then would say any number we divide numerator by, we must divide the denominator by that. Same number. Well done. We understand? So go ahead. So what are we going to get?
20 plus 1.
Ones?
2 into 10 goes 5 times.
All right. What do we call this fraction? No. It is a proper fraction. What is the name of the fraction?
I know it.
1/5. Okay. What do we call this fraction?
2/3.
Okay. What do we call this fraction?
4/9.
Okay. How do the fractions get their names?
By the denominator.
By the denominator. Can you see that? Oh my gosh, TN KIRNON students, you're my teacher's boy. Come shake my hand, all right? Friends, do you know how quickly the time has gone today? We're going to bring them back here again. I want to thank you in your homes and thank you for sending your students to school, because that is what we're doing in our schools in Antigua, Barbuda. It's a friendly environment.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, and we really want to learn.
Yes, ma'am.
Is mathematics a hard subject?
No, ma'am.
All right, so what are we going to say to the world?
Mathematics is not a hard subject.
Right, and we can learn it once we are taught the concept. And we ask our teachers to have patience, all right? Because everybody learns at a different pace. So and anybody do anything, call me. What's my name?
Miss Western.
So anything, call me. You have my phone number, right? 783-6971. 783-6971. And so, ladies and gentlemen, our time has gone today. And although it's a sad week, it is still a bright one, because we see a lot of hope and things coming up in terms of our students. They are bright, they're smart, they're ready to go, and they're just waiting for us to teach them. Grannies, I hope you're at home and testing them too, because they say every time, and you walk into their schools, you're the teacher, the lady on teaching, I watch you, and they're showing me that they do, and they're learning. So until next time, what are you going to tell Antigua? See you.
See you soon.
All right, give the cameraman a round of applause. Okay, thank you. And so until next time, this is Karen Weston saying, have a good evening and enjoy the rest of the week. Thank you.
Join us next time for another in the series, Mastering Mathematics, a production of the Education Broadcasting Unit in the Ministry of Education and ABS TV.